I did that grind back and forth. 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 Welcome to the daily. I'm so sorry.
Jeez, dude. Give me a heads up.
Monday. That one hit me like I was thinking, what's a Labor Day song? Oh, Whip My Hair by Willow. Welcome to the Daily Grind and happy Monday. If you are joining us in the States, it is Labor Day. So thank you for spending your holiday season with us instead of laboring. I think it's celebrating labor unions. I don't really understand. Maybe. Wayno, thank you for being awake. We were talking. I didn't think you were going to make it. Oh, it's late there. Thank you for King Meeks. Everybody joining us. We got a lot of people. Mark, everybody.
Mark,
let's go.
Mark, we got everybody. We got everybody here. And we got a lot to talk about, honestly. And we're going 3 wide today, too. I'm so excited. We don't normally go 3 wide on Mondays, but it's a holiday. And I was like, I'm going to see if I can get both Bucks. I got Uncle Buck and I got Buckets. How are you, boys?
Great,
good.
Man. We're grinding on Labor Day, man. I love it.
Grinding. The grind day? No, the grind day would be weird. Grind day? No,
Yeah,
whatever.
It's too much. It sounds like Prime Day, and
Let's
so
say it.
Yeah, it's too confusing for me. Yeah.
Amazon grind day. We have Grizz news to talk about. Terrible Grizz news to talk about.
We say I don't know. It's got to be like, is the FedEx Forum built on like some kind of ancient burial ground? Like, is Jobu not getting his rum? Like, something is going on because it has now been over 1,000 days since we have not had a player on the injured reserve or the IR injured list, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. I just feel like it's a practical joke at this point. Like I think that like the Alan Jackson song "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning"? Like that's what I think about when I got the dreaded Grizz PR Twitter notification. Like if you want to be a glutton for punishment, like if you hate yourself, turn the notifications on for Grizz PR like we do.
Yep.
Because let me tell you something. I was driving down the road, had my whole family in the car, and for a split second, I was like, "That tree looks pretty nice."
It's just, I thought I don't even know what to say, man. It's like,
yeah.
For those of you who didn't catch it, he broke his foot. I don't even metatarsal,
Yeah.
And it's one of those. I don't even know what that is. It's like a toe, rusty.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
a long bone in your foot. It's the one on the farthest on the outside. It's unfortunately a common like stress injury when you're putting a lot of force and a lot of wear and tear. You're seeing a lot of runners. Typically, it's a 4 to 6, maybe 8-week recovery. He's back in November. But with our medical staff, GG, we'll see you in 2026.
I feel like I'm due for a stress fracture. Except it's a different kind, like it's going to be a mental metatarsal fracture from all the stress that I've got going on, feeding all these kids.
Man, I just don't understand. And it sounds like it happened. I swear to God, if he broke his foot on that awesome play that we saw of him jumping so hard to block, I swear to God, if it happened then, I will. I swear to God, I just the one dude who made it all last season without getting hurt.
Right?
It really does feel the basketball god. I really don't know. Is it the basketball gods? Did we piss them off? Because this just seems like.
Because I'm trying to think back, like, are we still being punished for drafting Hasheem Thabeet? Because that's the only thing I could come up with is like, this is like echoing through the eons of just bad luck for drafting Hasheem Thabeet. Because like, I mean, it's just like, Idiot me thought, oh, it's a Grizzly PR notification. Maybe we got something good. Maybe we filled that last roster spot. Maybe we're doing something, right? And then I had
nobody thought that other than you.
Where I was like, no, this is Grizz PR. This ain't good. And I just had my phone and I just set it down on the coffee table and just was like,
I fully expected like it to say Ja Morant has broken his neck, and I was like, nah. I mean, what could happen? Like, because it's just like Grizz PR. Injury update, and I was immediately like, now whose injuries are we monitoring here? And I'm like, there are none, so something happened. Who got broken? And I mean, if you want to spin it, I mean, I think a lot of times a break is easier to recover from than like a torn something, you know.
Except this one. This one is one of those. It's kind of like Liz Frank, where it's unfortunate. I'm being honest with you. Like, it's one of those, like, once you have a stress fracture in your fifth metatarsal, like, you can continue to have them. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just being real with you for a minute. But it doesn't.
I hope Rusty's PT, Dr. Rusty Witten over here, does not join the Grizzlies medical staff, because he's going to put GG on ice too.
No, I'll be hustling to get his butt back. But to tie it back to basketball, it doesn't move the needle for me a whole lot. Yes, I'm going to miss GG. Yes, I wish GG was going to play. We're a better team with GG. We're still a 50-plus win team. I mean, GG's role is going to be vital later in the year. But guys, like, it's not time to panic. Like, it's a bummer. Like, it sucks that GG got hurt. It sucks that he got a stress injury like this. But we're still one of the top 4 teams in the West, even without GG, because – we don't know where he fits on this team. We haven't seen the full year of Marcus Smart. By the way, we still have Zach Edey. Ja Morant's coming back. Tripp says he wanted to stay in. Like, Ja wants Tripp to stay in Memphis forever, according to Twitter over the weekend. I think we're going to be fine.
I completely agree. Like it's as much as the initial wave of, like, anger and frustration and sadness. It's like a dog died, and we're just talking about someone who broke a foot. But the whole, after the initial bit, it was like, well, I mean, at least it wasn't insert other name here.
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Don't say it out loud.
At least it wasn't anything else, because here's our rotation still is Ja, Tripp, Dez, Marcus, Edey, Vince, Luke, Santi, BC. That's still our top 9 guys. I would still put those 9 against. I mean, and that's without including Scottie Pippen Jr. as your backup point guard. I mean, that's still, like, as much as as important as GG is like an offensive hub in that second unit, and is maybe the most aggressive out of all those dudes. I mean, like, he was that will be missed. Yeah. But these, it might have to go back to that 3-headed monster of old, where it was like Melt, Tyus, and BC, all 3 collectively would just bulldoze people. It might have to be more of that as opposed to one guy. It might just have to be Vince, BC, and Santi. You know, like,
Santi is the one. Sorry, Wayno, but Santi is the one that benefits the most from this. He's in a contract year. I know. I'm so sorry, Wayno. Don't hate me. Don't at me. But Santi's the one that benefits the most. He's in a contract year. He's playing for his NBA life. Yes, he's a great international player, but this is an opportunity for Santi to earn a contract, whether with us or somebody else in the future.
Yep.
Yeah, I tend to agree with both of you guys to a sense. Like, Gigi's not a starter. He is going to be one of the top 8 off the bench. So I do think it is a little bit more than what you guys are referring to. But it's not lethal by any means. To me, what always sucks is that he's just not going to be there getting the reps.
Yeah.
And he is still a 19-year-old going into his second year, and he's never played a basketball game with the people that will be playing basketball this year for the Grizzlies. He got all of his time with Lamar Stevens last year. And so,
Dejan Jarreau.
I want him to have a lot of reps with Ja, Jaren, Desmond, all of them, And so that's where I think, whereas I don't think he'll end up missing much time on the basketball calendar. It's just like, once he gets up to speed and he gets cleared, I feel like it's just, it's going to be a lot at one time, and I hope that he is able to, like, catch on quick, with the new guys and not get left behind.
Yeah, you're right. The biggest, I would say, other than him being out in general, like, at his age, you never want to see a guy like that miss like that sort of developmental. This is an important year for his development with this team, and it sucks that it's going to start out with him in a boot, maybe not in a boot. I mean, it just sucks.
Yeah. Good news is, again, the recovery is usually pretty strong. There is a higher incidence of refracture in the future, but if the right therapy, the right rehab, GG can come back to GG levels and still be the explosive player that we know he can be. So I think he's going to be fine. Exactly.
He's not. Yeah, he's going to recover quick.
Yeah, if one of the 3 of us did this same thing, we'd be in the boot for a lot longer. GG being 19 and still, he's relatively still made of rubber. He'll still be fine. He'll bounce back pretty quick.
Yeah, Rusty, that also kind of mysteriously sounded like your application to be the new Grizzlies medical staff. But wait, you can just be us 3. We just be us.
I'm in. Let's do it.
We'll be like, what's going on? Yeah, ask Rusty. And
then climb and call me. I got you.
Yeah. We're gonna move a little bit now. For those of you, that was the only Grizzlies news we had. It was all kind of. We're gonna discuss more this week about, because I see guys in the comments. I see us talking about who might benefit, who's gonna get these minutes. Jake's an option. Santi's an option. We're gonna discuss that more as the week goes on, because I think there's bigger conversations to be had there. But over the weekend, it was a holiday weekend for a lot of us, other than Labor Day. It was the first official weekend of college football. Sorry for making it French.
Yeah, never
college football.
They have zero. They have zero SEC championships. Don't talk about the French.
Leave them out of here. I am only
neither does Mississippi State. But
hey, we play. How many times did Ole Miss played in the SEC championship game? Exactly.
It's already starting. I love it. This is why college football is awesome. There was a lot that happened this weekend. As someone who the only big football games in their life were the Tennessee game and the Memphis game, which shout out Memphis.
Good win.
Hell of a way to have your 901 day weekend. It was a good win.
Good win.
I also caught the LSU USC, the ending of that.
What a game.
But tell me what you guys like. Give it to me. I mean, you guys watched way more than I did. What's important? What do people need to know? What team pooped the bed?
So the three teams, I'll start real quick. The three teams that won me money this weekend, I was super excited about, was Coastal Carolina, CCU covered and won outright. Vanderbilt won outright. I had them covering and I had the over. And then Old Dominion covered against South Carolina. They were the three that won me money. I was excited about them. The three that lost me money was I had Clemson covered against Georgia. Georgia absolutely beat the brakes off of them. I was higher on West Virginia than I needed to be because Penn State beat them. And then LSU last night, I had them winning that game. And for all the times that Lincoln Riley has tried to duck the SEC, canceling the series with Ole Miss, trying to cancel this game against LSU, they showed up last night and they won an ugly football game, but a great football game. And so it was an awesome weekend of college football.
Yeah, if you want to start most recent and go back just to hit the high points, last night was quite possibly the best football game of the weekend. You got Sunday night, like you said, Lincoln Riley USC in Vegas against LSU, and it seemed like LSU. It was weird. They were both, as I said on the $2 Sports Show. This is two teams whose quarterbacks went 1-2 in last year's NFL draft.
Yeah,
neither team played much defense, and they're both starting new quarterbacks who'd been in the system for several years. I was big on Garrett Nussmeier going in, and I think he looked good. However, the quarterback for USC, who looks like Rick Astley,
dude,
stepped up.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just an incredible game, and the plays that were made, and that's what makes it so special. That catch with the targeting,
incredible.
I can't remember the guy's name, number 10 for USC.
Yeah,
I mean, got drilled, one arm, caught it. And then earlier in the game, I think it was the same guy, one-handed up over his head like that.
And then Woody Marks, the Mississippi State transfer, had two big touchdowns, including the one that put him to bed last night. So it was good to see the Mississippi boy balling out there for USC. Defenses were playing; they were flying around, making big hits. Like you said, there was some targeting here and there, but it was just all in all, it was just a good tackle football game. I mean, it was awesome.
It was great. And I love seeing LSU lose.
Man, absolutely. That's the one thing Uncle Buck and I agree on every week is if LSU gets beat, we're both happy campers.
We are.
Brian Kelly is now.
We are both massive SEC football fans. We, especially me, I hate all other SEC teams. I don't root for any of them. None of them. So.
It's funny because I hate LSU as like a tertiary college football fan. Yeah. I just have a disdain for them because they've always hired just the most despicable looking villain coaches.
Yeah.
Except I love Ed. I like him. I
remember when I was in school at Mississippi State, I got heckled by a 9-year-old LSU fan on a Tuesday before a Thursday night game. And I'm just like, from then on, I'm like these people are clowns. They're not real life. They live in a simulation. Like these kids are heckling you on campus. Like I do not own anything purple for that reason.
I respect it. I do respect the absolute veracity in which LSU children will yell at adults. Like,
I mean,
I do respect that.
I walked into a kinesiology test, and this 9-year-old's like, "Ty, I got bait. Ty, I got bait." What?
You're like, I'm late for class.
I'm like, I got a test.
Leave me be.
So Saturday night, if we're going backwards,
Yeah.
Ole Miss and Mississippi State both won. Ole Miss won 76-0. State won 56-7.
76-0.
Yeah,
I mean, they played the school of the blind. I mean,
yeah. Ole Miss played Furman.
Yeah.
If you don't know, we talked about this on the 2 Buck Sports Show. The all-time leading receiver for the Furman Paladins is a man by the name of Bear. Is a man by the name of Bear Reinhardt, who Rusty and I love because he's the lead singer of our favorite band, Need to Breathe.
Oh yeah,
and he's white. The all-time leading receiver is a white dude who plays music for a living. So yeah.
Their mascot is the Paladins, which for those D&D players at home is the worst, the lamest. It's such a crappy. If you play as a Paladin, I fart on you. It's so lame.
I was thinking the same thing, Luke.
You're like, I play D&D.
And for
Dungeons and oh god. Well, go back. What happened Friday?
Yeah. Mississippi State in the first game of the Jeff Lebby era scored a bunch of points. Defense has some room to grow, but a lot of transfers coming in. Kevin Coleman from Louisville had a monster game. He's going to be a problem on special teams. But want to know in the Jeff Lebby era, if your head coach is not does not have a winning percentage of 1,000, don't talk to me because he's never lost a game as a head coach. Don't talk to me.
Okay. Outside of that, just quick hitters. Tennessee fans, Nico looked incredible.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he looked so good. Really good. Really
now, they were not playing. You got to count
UTC,
all these.
Go Mocs.
Yeah.
Go Mocs.
Yeah, the Mocs just aren't up to snuff, nor was anybody else. Like, a lot of these teams played nobodies. And so,
as good as Nico looked, but as good as Nico looked, Connor Wegman for Texas A&M looked the opposite. He looked so bad to be on some Heisman big boards and all this hype. Like, he just looked swallowed up by the moment. A&M's offensive line is not good. Notre Dame is not a good football team. Their secondary is good. They've got a couple players who are all right. That's not going to be one of your top 12 teams, I don't think, at the end of the year. And Connor Wegman looked bad as the Aggie quarterback.
So who helped their Heisman stock and who hurt their Heisman stock this weekend? I know it's week 1. It doesn't matter. It's crap competition. But who would you both say?
So, first off the dome, I think Nico will start getting a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Just because he lit the world on fire. I think that you always look at quarterbacks. It's really a quarterback award.
Yeah.
Cam Ward at Miami was amazing. They beat the ever-living crap out of Florida. Billy Napier, just start packing your bag.
He needs to start looking at posting his house on Zillow. Yeah. For me, I don't
Daniel's
know that anybody.
You notice Daniel's not here.
Yeah, he's real quiet. Real quiet. For me, it's still too early to tell for this year. I think a lot of guys look good, and I still think Cam Rising, and I still think some of these guys are still going to be in the mix. Quinn Ewers. For me, the guy to watch maybe for the Heisman, maybe next year or the next. Alabama has a wide receiver, Ryan Williams, who is 17 years old, and his first two collegiate catches, he had 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just unbelievable speed and hands, just like it was like he was averaging like 69.5 yards per catch for his first 2 collegiate catches, and he's 17 years old. 17 years old.
Yeah. It's so hard to tell. You look at the big games, and nobody really in the biggest games, nobody really showed out to me.
No.
And then everybody else put up stats. I will relay what one I heard on a podcast, and this was a guy who was a former assistant coach at Alabama and at Ole Miss, and he was a assistant coach at Alabama under Kiffin when he was the OC, and he was going and taking a large chunk of money and putting it on Jackson Dart, Ole Miss's quarterback, because he said it is important to Lane. And he will rack up stats. He will push it as far as he can push it in these games. I mean, he had 418 yards and 6 touchdowns at halftime. And in this guy's opinion, it was on purpose for this reason. And so it don't matter how many yards and touchdowns you put up against 4 no-name teams. But if you win a couple of big games, then those stats still accumulate, So
I tell you, tonight, if you still want to watch some college football tonight, there is one more game. I'm taking BC in the under. Boston College plays at Florida State. DJ Uiagalelei, or however you actually pronounce it. I attempted it that time. I'm not sure if I was even. I think I was close. DJU. It's make or break time, man. If he comes out and lays another egg against Boston College, Florida State, their season is going to be probably out the window. DJ's career is out the window, and he needs to start applying for his insurance license to sell, State Farm, wherever his hometown is. But he's come up a couple times in the comments. I had Clemson in my top 4 for my college football playoff. But Dabo, no transfers. Sweeney, shout out King Meeks, man. Props to the dude for trying to do it his own way. But your own way got drubbed by a clearly superior team, 34-3. Like, they were never even competitive. Like, from the start, I was watching Vanderbilt more than I was watching Georgia Clemson, because Clemson was not competitive at all.
No, man.
I have thoughts on Clemson. I think it's been dead for a long time. I think it's past its half-life at this point. And I think that happened once Georgia beat them for the first time in the national championship. Like, it's just two ships passing in the night. Now, Dabo has became wholly unlikable. He's been that guy that's just like, he's turned into the old man watering his grass, yelling at the clouds. And a lot of people agree with Dabo. They don't like the way college football has become.
Yes.
I'm not one of those people, but this is an adapt or die business, and he's just going to stay on this sinking ship until it hits the bottom.
It's a very bad look, because the whole point of sports, adapt or die. Every sport, you adapt or die, and he is refusing to do so, and it makes him look really foolish.
They're not done yet. They're not done yet. I don't care. Georgia is the best team in the country. I don't think anybody denies that.
Yep.
And the ACC, if I learned one thing this weekend, I believe that there may be one good team and a bunch of crap. And I think Miami and Clemson are going to be maybe the only 2 teams that matter. We'll see what Norvell does. I do believe in Norvell. I don't believe in DJ. But I do believe that it's going to be a really bad conference in which one team finds its way out. And
somebody has to win.
That team is going to be Clemson, Miami, Virginia Tech. I mean, it's going to be a team that's okay.
It ain't going to be Virginia Tech. It's not going to be
a team that's good. I don't think so. They're talented enough to do it. And I'll address that later. I didn't pick Virginia Tech. And I do feel stupid, but I also think the ACC is really bad.
Really bad.
That's why I picked them.
There's a really good chance that the ACC champ that's in the top 4 of the college football playoff has 2 losses, if not more, because that ACC is just so bad that they're just going to beat up on each other. Not because it's so good, but because it's so bad. And so far, passing the eye test, it's early. It's week 1. It's a great time for overreactions, but I think you're right, Drew. Cam Ward and Miami are the only ones that look the part to me of a competitive football team. Because when your darling loses to Georgia Tech, your other one gets beat by Vanderbilt, and then Clemson, you're the class of the conference, is embarrassed on a national stage, but you don't even deserve a seat at the table.
I was hoping that I could get behind Georgia Tech after they beat Florida State in Ireland like that, but then they go and get in a rock fight with Georgia State. I'm out. Regarding Miami, I do believe that Mario Cristobal is good for 1.5 losses a year, just because he doesn't understand how football works a lot of times.
Time management is not a skill.
Yeah, I do think that team has a lot of talent. They got the Tennessee transfer Tyler Barron. I think that was the 4th school that he transferred this offseason, including after he moved in to an apartment in Oxford, Mississippi. And then he went to Louisville, and then he went to Miami. So he's really good. Cam Ward is really good. And to go in Gainesville, and I know that team was not expected to be much, but don't ever try to tell that to Florida fans. They were foaming at the mouth because nobody's going to be better than Florida. They think it every year.
Yep. Yeah. If you each had to pick a game, what game are you most looking forward to this weekend, Rusty?
Ooh, let me look it
So outside of obviously Mississippi State not kicking off until 9 freaking o'clock local time, that's kind of a bummer. I mean, the highlight one is Texas and Michigan. Game day is going to be in Ann Arbor. Texas plays at Michigan. Texas is going to Texas is a 6.5 point favorite. Hammer the over. Michigan got into a rock fight in their first game with Fresno State. It was like 13-10 in the third quarter. They pulled away late just because of depth. Texas is going to absolutely murder Michigan. I am hammering the over. And of the big name, that's our only like big ticket game outside of watching, Mississippi State, who I want to watch.
All right, and I'll go one. I'll just do two because that is the biggest. Okay. Tennessee goes to Raleigh, North Carolina to play NC State. NC State did not get off was not a very inspiring week 1 win. But they did get Grayson McCall as their quarterback, the former Coastal Carolina quarterback. He is good or was good. We'll see how it does. If Tennessee can go win that game at NC State, which I think, they are, I don't see a line yet, but I'm sure they're favored. They'll go play at Oklahoma. And then if they beat Oklahoma, I mean, I don't see a loss until maybe the end of October when Alabama comes to Knoxville.
It comes to Neal. Yeah.
Tennessee opens as a 7.5 point road favorite.
Okay. And so the second game I'm interested in is going to be an early game. Let me find it real quick. It was up here at the top of the list. It is Arkansas playing at Oklahoma State.
Big Suey.
Yeah. You said it, not me. That's 11 o'clock on Saturday. That game's going to be on ABC. Arkansas is a team that everybody expects to be terrible. But we did get our first look at their new quarterback, who was a transfer from Boise State.
Yeah.
He is a fellow by the name of Taylon Green. He did throw for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then he's a dynamic athlete, rushing the ball, track star level speed. Yeah. And so I'm interested to see what that looks like. I don't believe in him. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is anymore. They've went through 2 of them the last 2 years. Yeah. But no, it's Petrino.
Bobby Petrino, though. Petrino. He came over from A&M.
And so Alan Bowman, the quarterback for Oklahoma State, was the quarterback for Texas Tech in 2019 when Ole Miss played Texas Tech in week 1. He's been around forever. And Ollie Gordon is the reigning Doak Walker Award winner.
He's such a good running back. Yeah. And another real quick, if you want to watch a Heisman dark horse who I'm kind of high on, Cam Rising in Utah hosts Baylor. They both 1-0. They both look good in their first game. That's Saturday at 2:30. That's probably going to be for the Big 12, but outside of Oklahoma State, those 2 teams are pretty good. But I'm pretty bullish on Utah and Kyle Whittingham, what he's doing there. So 2:30, check out potential Heisman Cam Rising.
Man, I'm going to be an expert by the end of the college football season because y'all, I love it. I need it. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to talk about Mondays. It is Monday, yeah. It's holiday, but it's Monday. We're going to talk about Mondays, and we're going to talk about lasagna right after this break.
One of the questions as far as my writings for the Wizards was, what's going to happen with Tyus Jones? And I kind of was able to narrow it down. He had 3 teams that he was primarily looking at, and that were the Memphis Grizzlies, the Phoenix Suns, and the Atlanta Hawks. From my understanding, Memphis they offered him more money. Memphis offer was somewhere around $5 to $6 million, but they wouldn't have given him an opportunity to start. And I believe that was something that was really important for him.
I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true, but I don't think the Grizzlies actually made a serious run at Tyus Jones. And at that number, I don't even consider that serious. You know what I mean?
A lot of people in Memphis didn't really want to believe that the Grizzlies were interested in Tyus Jones. And I think a lot of, from what I saw on the internet, a lot of that has to do with you guys' expectation of what Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be. The Memphis Grizzlies very much like Scottie Pippen Jr., but I'm also here to tell you they went out and tried to get a backup point guard.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Representing your country and winning, I think I'd black out on the podium. Because when I watch these people whose names I won't remember a week from now, and they're on the podium and they have tears and I start crying because I'm like, what a moment for this person. I'm getting a little nervous talking about it right now, BK.
I would shed 3 tears.
Oh.
I wouldn't be nose running crying. Not that crying. You know, there's levels to this crying game. There's
shoulder shaking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even when the tears stop, you still like, that's when you used to get in trouble, though. Your parents used to give you, that's when you used to get beaten.
You stop.
Yes, you better stop crying.
Exactly.
That's it, that bottom lip.
I'm not crying.
Right, yeah. I would definitely be up there. I would cry.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. It's a show that happens every day when we can make it happen. Man, my originals are better than my covers, unless it's oh, in my hair back up, oh, in my hair back up.
That was your best to date.
I felt really good. Welcome back to the show. You can catch both those shows you just saw. Oh, you want me? Oh man, go get you a Stouffer's, baby. You know what? Shout out! Look what I got this weekend. That's Garfield
Nice.
with a cup of coffee. He gets up every morning to do the Daily Grind with me. He also looks tired. I'm not tired. I mean, this 9:30 start time was awesome, but we can't do that. You can catch all of our shows at bluffcitymedia.co. Monday, we should have no bluffing dropping later today. We will have Anthony Shane show this week, Night Court this week. We will have $2 Sports Show. Grizz 901's coming back. We got a lot. But back to our show. Mondays, we do something special on Mondays. We like to celebrate, like I said, Garfield the cat, and we also like to celebrate lasagnas, baby, because Garfield loves lasagnas and he hates Mondays. So we just like to talk about stuff that we loved from the weekend, our lasagna, and stuff that we didn't love from the weekend, our Mondays. I'm happy to go first because I had a really good lasagna. Yes, I got confused. I had a really good lasagna.
Stouffer's?
I got to see Childish Gambino last night. I got to see his concert at Bridgestone, and it was incredible. I felt like an old Donald Glover, man. Old Troy from Community up there, looking all handsome. It was awesome. I felt very old. There were a lot of like Gen Zers, like just covered in makeup, like singing all of his lyrics, and I was just like, in my seat, just eating popcorn, like, yeah, this is great.
Like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, and the light show was the best light show I've ever seen. Go see it if just for the light alone. After the show, he had credits roll because that's how impressive the light show was. He had
that's pretty neat.
It was just a lot that went into it. And my Monday, I had to get a tetanus vaccine because apparently you're overdue. And I
thought you were going to say you sat on a rusty nail or something.
I sliced my leg open with a piece of metal because I weld and I probably needed a stitch, but I didn't get one. And then I was I don't have my tetanus shot.
While welding, you sliced your leg open with hot metal,
dude.
And your Monday is that you had to get a tetanus shot. You almost lost your leg.
Hey man, hey, I have no retort. Go ahead.
Oh man, Rusty.
So. I had a lot. Like my weekend, I had a good weekend. My Monday is just I'm still fighting this stupid crud. It just will not go away. Like it's been like over a week now where I just can't kick this congestion crud. I almost died. Maggie and I worked out on Saturday, and like about halfway through the workout, I was like, I'm not gonna make it. Like this just ain't gonna work. But we survived, so I guess that's that. My lasagna, dude, like. I mean, I had several. Like, went to IKEA on Saturday before all the football got heavy with Maggie and got some cool stuff. I freaking love IKEA, man.
I love IKEA too.
It's a great place, man. I got a cool new computer stand and a little shelf here for my papers and a bunch of stuff I didn't know I needed, but when I saw it, I was like, I must have that.
But I'm
gonna go.
If you're listening, We'll
Yeah,
take your
sponsor
sponsorship.
the
Sponsor
show.
all of us. We love
Yes.
IKEA.
I'll take all the stuff. Yes. And then, but my lasagna is probably fantasy football draft with my family yesterday. It was a good time. Team's not so great, but Maggie came, hung out with the family. It was a good time of crap talking my cousins and my brother, my nephews. It was fun. So I love this time of the year for fantasy football, bringing the people together.
Yeah.
My draft is this week. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I'm never doing our League of Avengers draft. We're never doing that 3 weeks before season starts. This has been the worst. Like, we used to draft every Labor Day weekend, and then Thursday you had a game.
Yep,
like,
for
scheduling thing, we couldn't do that. But like, oh man, this has been so long.
For like the past 2 or 3 years, we draft the Wednesday before the Thursday because I don't want anybody getting hurt. I hate that.
Oh yeah.
I hate it.
That's great.
Yeah, so we were talking about that last night. We waited until yesterday because of my uncle. In 2 years, he drafted Le'Veon Bell the year that he sat out the entire year. And then he drafted Jordy Nelson first overall the year he like blew out his back and missed the entire year or whatever. Both of those. And then last night, my brother runs the league. It's a 2-quarterback league. He drafted both of his quarterbacks with a week 12 bye. They didn't even look at that, but both of his quarterbacks, he ended up having to draft 4 quarterbacks last night.
The bye week will get you.
I never pay attention to bye weeks. I hope they all have the same bye because I want to go 12-1 because everybody's on the same bye week. I don't want to this year. My lasagna and my Monday go hand in hand. My lasagna, we had a massive little dinner party at our house last night. We had our closest friends here in town. There's 4 families that came, 4 couples that we're really close friends with. They all came. We had a great time. We did nachos and had a little nacho bar, and we watched football, and it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
My Monday is that between the 4 couples, there was 17 children.
Who? That's a...
And it was raining outside.
Oh my gosh. I've seen Children of the Corn. No, thank you.
You have an offense. You can sire a little league team of that.
Yeah.
That group.
I mean, 17, that's 15 roster spots in 2 two-ways. Yeah. So that is actually the exact amount of people that the Grizzlies roster right now.
Right now.
15 and 3 two-ways. And I've got another Monday real quick because someone by the name of Hollywood Herm decided to nuke our chat and say we should trade for Brandon Ingram right here at the end and get out of this stream.
Thank you for joining us, Hollywood Herm.
No. I love you, Hollywood. But yeah, so and then bonus lasagna. I don't have to work today. It's great.
Yeah.
Me and the kids are going to go to First Monday, I think. And if you don't know about First Monday, it is what Tampa County and Ripley, Mississippi is known for. It is redneck bootleg items.
If they ain't got it, you don't need it. Let's put it that way.
You could get anything from socks to chickens.
Wait, I need.
I've got a funny story about it. Saved for another show about me having to drive a goat home from Ripley to Corinth in the back of my '94 Ford Bronco when I was in high school.
I want to hear it now.
I
want to hear it now.
Long story short, best friend growing up passed away from cancer, Justin Williams, but we called him Goat. A, because he looked like a goat. B, because we went to First Monday my junior year in my Bronco. There was 4 of us, and we're getting ready to leave. And Justin comes up, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, like, what's up, man?" He's like, "You know I love you, right?" I was like, "Sure." He goes, "I bought something that I need to get back home." And I said, "What is it?" And he said, "It's a goat." I said, "Damn, it's a long walk back to Corinth. You can ride that goat." And like to the day that I sold that truck, when it would rain, you would smell a goat pasture in that daggum truck. But I bit the bullet and drove 45 minutes home with a freaking goat in the back of my truck from Ripley, Mississippi to Theo, Mississippi. If that's not the most redneck story you've heard all week, I don't know what is.
Friendship. That's friendship. What that is. Driving a goat in a Bronco. That's awesome. Shout out goats. Shout out Broncos. That's sick. Shout out, man. We're just having stories real quick. Shout out King Meeks. My family used to bootleg moonshine in caskets because we own a funeral home. We used to bootleg them in caskets over the mountain back in the day, and the cops would pull them over and be like, "Oh God, keep moving." That's a story for another day, though. That's gonna do it for our show today. It's a holiday. We're having fun. Thank you for everybody tuning in. King Meeks, Wayno, Hollywood, Anthony. Had a bunch of people. I'm forgetting somebody. It was Alan. Thank you, everybody. Mark,
great chat
everybody.
today.
Great chat today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good rest of your holiday. Be safe. Don't do anything we wouldn't do collectively.
If you do, call us.
You call us. Yeah, call us. You have our numbers, maybe. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. If you're working right now, I'm sorry. If you're Wayno, go to bed. I know how time travel works. Everybody have a good night, good day. We'll see you tomorrow. If I can leave you with anything, remember just to be a little weird, just a little bit, and remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good one. I will see you tomorrow.